Hello, thank you for coming into our shop today. Today I have prepared for you, I've found you this beautiful Bernina sewing machine. This is a vintage machine. It's just come into the shop, and I know you like it when I let you know first when we do have one come in. So I thought I would show this one to you, and I'll show you everything that comes along with it. So to start off, it is a Bernina 807. That is a model that does come from 1968. So yeah, it is rather an older machine, and as we like to say, they don't make them like they used to, do they? We have had our technician look over it fully, so it is in good repair. It's been freshly oiled and everything like that. There is a bit of dust. We didn't get to do a full cleaning on it yet. You can see obviously a few scuff marks on the box here, but otherwise it is in pretty much immaculate condition. So let's go ahead and open it up. So it does have, let's give you a little bit better look here. So if you look up here, it does have two buckles across the top, and then it has this nice sturdy handle, and that does have a bit of give in it so that you can obviously don't have to try and stick your fingers into this very small space. So yes, so it does have these two buckles and then this nice handle there. Okay, so now we'll undo those two buckles I've just shown you. Let's see in here. This is what the inside of the box looks like. So I'll take the machine out. Actually put it aside. Sorry. I'll actually put the machine aside for just a moment so I can show you the rest of the contents of the box. The box does have a guide on the back, so you can see there it'll show you what direction you need to put the machine back into the box. It does come with the pedal. It is an American plug, as you can see here, so it does have the grounding in the two straight points. And it's a 110 volt machine. So yeah, we'll get into that later, how you can use that while you're obviously still here in Australia. Oh, excuse me, sorry about that. Okay, and then if you look, oh yeah, I'll take this one out. So at the back here is the accessories case, and we'll go through that just a little bit later. But yeah, it does have a slight crack in it, but otherwise all the accessories are in good repair. Okay, now to show you this, I'm going to turn this to the side. So this machine, this case, it has, obviously this is the side that the machine sits in, the base of the machine sits right there, and then it does also have this tray at the top that sits right there, You can take that off if you just look at this. You have this little knob that you can kind of turn. You turn that, and then that will come straight off for you. Okay? And then to put it back in, obviously, it does have little grooves to show you where the hole goes. And then you can just place it there. It does have these grooves along the back, also to cushion it, so it's not going to bang against the back of the case when you're moving. So it is very secure in there. I'll show you. So once it's in there, so you can see it's very securely in there. So we'll take that out, because we'll show you that as well. Okay, so I'm just going to put the case to the side, so you can see that. Oh, just real quick, so you do have the Bernina logo is here, and it's there on both sides. Okay, so now we'll go straight into our machine itself. So this is the wonderful 807. Now, all of the interior parts are completely made of metal. You do get a few knobs that are made of plastic here on the exterior, but otherwise interior, if you look inside, you can't see a ton in here because it is pretty dark in there. I don't have it plugged in. Of course, we're not going to get a light. But yeah, if you look in there, let's see if we can get a little closer look. Yeah, it's a bit dark in there, but right in here you can see, and all of the parts in there are, they are completely metal. So yeah, it is very high quality manufacturing. Obviously Bernina is a brand that is beloved throughout the world. It is, in my opinion, the best sewing machine brand in the world. Just because every machine I've ever sewn on that's a Bernina is the highest quality and gives you very uniform stitch length, and just doesn't give you very many catches or anything like that. They just sew very smoothly. Okay, so I'll show you the particular features here. Okay, we'll start over here. So here is your just your normal gauge to do your zigzags. So if you go up there, that'll give you, the one just indicates that that's a slight zigzag, and then obviously up to 4 being your largest zigzag. And you do get half increments as well, but it won't stick. It's like there, it kind of sticks on it. The half ones, you can use the half ones, but just be aware it doesn't actually kind of click into place on the half, but you definitely still can use the half increments as well. Now the second knob in this one is actually your needle position. So if you actually keep an eye over here on the needle while I move that one, let me get my arm out of the way. Oh, we need to go in closer, don't we? Let's give you a little bit closer look there. Now you can't see me moving that, but so if you look here, if you look right here, I'll show it against my finger. You see how it clicks across? And that's where you can set the needle length, not the needle position, from right to left. There is no change from front to back. It's always right in that position, front to back. Just so you're aware of that. Okay, so that's what that second knob is for. This knob down here, it has two functions. So this is going to be your reverse knob. So if you are pushing on your pedal and you just hold this up, while you're holding it up, it'll sew in reverse as opposed to sewing forward. This is also where you can set your stitch length. And you set that by turning. So it's not an up-down. When you go up, it'll go back down to where you have it turned to. So if you see this, you can turn it up. So this is a very, very tight stitch. Let's give you a closer look there. Okay. You see here, you have a 0, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So 4 means a longer distance between when the needle will go down. So up at a 0, you're pretty much going to have stitches directly just right on top of each other. And then on a 4, so like a 0 would be like, I mean, without really any movement at all. You need to have it a little bit above 0 to get some movement. And then on a 4, it'll be, just a bit wider. And it goes back down. So it kind of goes like that. So that's that knob. And let's have a look. Okay. So the last knob here actually gauges your feed dogs. And we'll come look at those a little bit in more detail in a minute, because we're going to need to look at them from above. But this one, so right now, that has the feed dogs on, and then you can push it over here, and that'll put your feed dogs off, so that'll turn that. Basically, your feed dogs are, when you have your piece of fabric, your feed dogs are what they have a ridged texture, so they're pushing your bottom fabric through. Obviously from the top you're able to kind of push with your hand and they go through that way, but the feed dogs will push from the bottom. If you don't want feed dogs and you want it to all be pushed from the top, such as when you are using a walking foot, or when you're quilting and you're pushing by 2 hands, then that's when you would put the feed dogs down. And that's what that little knob does over there. Okay, so those are the knobs that are on the front. On the side, we have just your normal turn knob. So this knob, when you turn it, it will move your needle up and down. So let's see if we can get that angle to show you. So if you watch this over here, you'll see it'll move up and down. And it'll also move this as well, which is your kind of one of your guides for your thread to go in. So that's what that one does. The second one in here is when you are making your bobbin, you turn this one, and then it won't move your needle and everything like that down there. So if you see, well, this one's a little important, but it does stop it from going. That would force my finger down normally. You do see that a little bit with the older machines where this may still move. You can just put your finger there while you're making a bobbin so it doesn't go just up and down, up and down, up and down. Yeah, so that is that one, and I'll leave that tightened. So obviously that's just a good default way to leave it. I'll go to the back of the machine. Okay, so that's the back of the machine. Do have the details of the previous owner. Obviously we can remove that. And yeah, she did have, it comes from a woman who did teach sewing lessons. So this was her second one. She had two of these lovely Bernina Minimatics, 807s. And they are lovely. So here are your two places to hold your thread. Obviously your shorter threads. If you do have larger threads, you normally want to place them onto a standalone thread stand. They do have these nice felt patches so that you're not going to get a loud banging sound while you're sewing from the thread spinning around. And yeah, so those are just nice little standard, just little standard thread holders. Behind here you have this is what will handle your foot going up and down. So if you see me put that down, and that moves that foot down. Okay, I'll try and show you. You put that up, and that brings the foot up, and then down, and puts the foot down. And then here you have your, this is just your guide thread for going through here. There's a little space behind there where you can kind of come by two sides, right there, and pop a thread behind there, and then start threading your machine from there. So, yeah. So that's that. And then this is the light switch to turn that one on. Obviously, need power to turn the light on. But yeah, and it does open there, so you can change your light bulb right there. And then you can dust and oil the places that you need to in there quite easily. So, oh, and then the other thing I didn't show you, because it's more relevant kind of from the front, so you do have this little knob down here, and that's the one that if you pull up, then you can pull your foot off, and then it'll come off for you. And then you can just kind of wiggle it back in place, and then get under the needle. Yeah, move the needle up. There we go. Now it's in place. Good. Okay. And then obviously these are just your thread guides. Your thread goes through here and then comes up through here. You need to make sure it catches in there, and then it needs to, yeah, it'll go through there. So you usually do that with that, and then it'll come behind this little spot, and then go into your needle. And then down at the bottom here, you have your bobbin case. The bobbin case is right here. It does come out. You can pull that out. It does have the normal attachment off the front there for use in things such as, what am I trying to think of? Such as applique, things like that. You'll need that. Otherwise, normally you leave it just leave your thread hanging as per normal. It does have a little hook here, so you can pull that open, so it's easy to pull out. And then obviously your bobbin will just come out there. So that is your bobbin. And then there is a little, can't see that there, it's a bit out of sight, but there is a little hook right here. It's a button that you can push, and that will release that all to come out. And then you can remove the back there, but I won't do that right now. Just pop that closed again. Doesn't like it. Okay, yeah, so I got that back in, and yeah, and then you can just pop your bobbin right back in there. And then you can pop that back closed, just like so. So that is the machine. This top part does come off as well for oiling, but it does need to be unscrewed, so we won't go through that just yet. Tilt this a little bit so you can see the top. So if you see the top here, you do have the place to put your bobbin on when you are making a bobbin. This is where you can choose your stitches. You have a straight stitch, a zigzag with a straight line, a kind of curly zigzag, and then yeah, just a few others there. And then you can just choose that by moving it over and just popping it in place. And then this is the other place that you'll spin when you are making a bobbin. So that's that. And then I'll show you, so that goes on there. And then if you look right here, this little bit pushes over to lock it in place. So it's very sturdy, becomes one with the machine. So that works really nicely, gives you a nice working area, but also obviously you can take it off pretty easily when you do need to access the bobbin. If you have a Bernina sewing table, this machine will fit perfectly in the Bernina sewing table. It is the regular dimensions for a Bernina machine, so you wouldn't require this piece. And you can just leave that for when you travel or things like that. The power cable, sorry about that. Okay, so this is the pedal. This is not the original pedal. It did have to be replaced because the original pedal for these, they did tend to overheat. That was the one problem with this machine. So this one does have a new pedal that has been wired, and it is made specifically for this machine, so it'll work perfectly with this machine. This is your connection that hooks into the back. So that just hooks in. I'll show you. So that just hooks in like so. And then we can just go around. And you have your pedal all hooked in. And then the other cord goes to the side that connects to the power. Now, what we do have for you is a step hub converter. Obviously, because power is 220 volts here, you do need a converter. So this is your converter, so you can plug in here into the 110 volts, so that's what your power will get. But obviously, you can use this plug, and your Australian plug there. I'll show you. Just plug it in over here. So when you plug that in, your light does go on, and keep looking, so you can just plug that in. Just the end of this is a little, it's a little temperamental. So that's the only thing you need to be aware of. It's just kind of need to get it going. Anyway, we won't worry about that right now. But that's how you plug that in, and then the other end just goes into the normal socket. Unplug that. Just move the pedal out of the way for now. Just while I show you the accessory box. So this here is the accessory box. It does have the Bernina logo on it again. And it is in this nice maroon color, which does match the detailing on the machine itself. So they do look nice together as a little pair. So we'll go ahead and open this. And you can see inside. So it does have this section. Okay, so it does have this section over on the right for holding bobbins. You can see here, there's a bobbin there. It does come with a thimble. Obviously, you don't need a thimble when sewing with a machine, but it is handy to have for any little hand sewing things you may need to do. It does come with a nice little pair of thread scissors. So those are a nice little pair. They're very sharp, and I would definitely recommend only using those for your thread to keep them nice and sharp. And as you can see here, there are quite a variety of feet that go for the machine. You have this one, which is a bit of a loose. It's a very loose one, but it has a wide, opening here. So that foot. Some of these I've never even used before, so I don't know exactly what they're for. This foot you have, and it has these little rollers, you can see. It does have these, little rollers. 2 of them to roll along the fabric. You do have a zipper foot. So that's what that's for. It has the two little notches on the side, as a normal zipper foot does. Then you just have your standard foot. We actually have the 1/4 inch foot in there right now. I'll take that one off in a second and show it to you. But that is your standard foot. So that'd be the one we probably would put it on for you for when you leave. There is a secondary. This one is also. This is a amended standard foot. So if you compare the two, it's the difference in the length. This one's very short. This one's very short. And this one is just obviously a lot longer. And then you have this one, the rippled edge. You have this one. That one's good for a... You can use that one kind of as a mini quilting foot, although your better quilting foot is going to be this one. It's going to be your best quilting foot, just because it does have the circle in there. So it'll push the fabric down, but if you also see here, it has a bit of give as well, so it'll go very nicely over your fabric as you're quilting. Looks like we have a second standard foot in there. Didn't even know that was in there. And you have a half foot there when you do need the other side closed off. You do have that one. And that, don't even know what that is. Should talk to one of our guys in the back, see if they know. Yes. Oh, and this foot is you see along the bottom, it doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It does have that space, so if you're doing lots of zigzagging or anything like that, it's not going to bump up if you're doing applique edges or something like that. It'll give you that nice amount of space that you need. So those are all of the accessories. And yeah. So that's the, let's put those to the side. So this is our machine. Oh, one last one. Make sure you can see the lovely 807. And of course, all Berninas are made in Switzerland. So if you do decide to purchase this from us, it would be the same as other machines you've purchased through us. They do come with a 1-year warranty and a free service within the first year as well. And obviously we'd get you a bottle of oil, and we can show you where exactly you need to oil your machine as well. If you did want to take it home today, you could, but if you wanted to give us a little bit of time, you can, if you give us a day or so, we can clean it up so it'd be good as new as well. Okay? So, yeah, so I'll give you a little bit of time to think that over, but yeah, definitely, the Bernina Minimatic is one of my favorite machines. I love all of those from that era, around the 60s and the 70s. They just were beautifully made. They're very simple. I love that all of the parts are metal. It just makes them such a high quality. The repairers love them because they just know if they put a new part in there, it's not going to break straight away. It's going to last for a long time. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. It's not a very complicated machine, so it's good for beginner up to advanced, obviously. So if you wanted to give it to a new sewer that you do have, I know that we've had plenty of, when we do have these in stock, plenty of parents have come in to purchase them for their children who are just taking sewing lessons for the first time. So yeah, now they do a very good job, but they also, it's a piece that will last a lifetime with the proper care. One other thing I did miss, you can definitely, as in all machines, you can adjust the tension, and that's done by this little knob up at the top, and that'll move this plus or minus to the side if you do need to add a little, more tension or less tension. I'll leave it here because it has actually just been adjusted for tension, so we don't want to mess with that, but yeah, it's definitely one worth considering, and obviously with all the feet, it would definitely be worth it. And just if you are looking for a walking foot for this one, we do have a walking foot in stock as well, because you know how, yeah, for each machine it does require a different one, so just so you know, we do have one in stock for this one, so you might want to jump on that at the same time so you can make sure that you would have the walking foot without having to do a special order. The other really good thing about the Berninas is Bernina do still manufacture replacement parts for all of these machines. So it's always genuine parts. You don't need second-hand parts or anything like that. It still is from the manufacturer. So Bernina really do try and take care of their machines, and any authorized repairer does use genuine Bernina parts, which is really good. So yeah, so that's the machine there, and yeah, so just have a bit of a look around. We can plug it in, you can try sewing with it. Yeah, oh, didn't show you. I'll show you the 1/4 inch foot. So yeah, so that's the 1/4 inch foot. The reason it's called the 1/4 inch foot is on a normal, so on a classic, just your standard foot, it's kind of a rough guide that people will say going to the edge of the foot is a 1/4 inch, but it's actually slightly larger than a 1/4 inch, so it's more like 5/16, something like that. So, and for clothes and things like that, it's not super important, but when you are sewing something like a quilt, where your measurements need to be very exact, this is a true 1/4 inch foot. So from the middle of the foot to the outside of the foot is an exact 1/4 inch. And you can also see, if you look closely here at the bottom, you have these little notches, and these notches are also a 1/4 inch. So from there to there is a 1/4 inch, from there to there is a 1/4 inch, from there to the end of the foot is a 1/4 inch. So you can measure it both ways. And your needle just goes right through the middle there. Yeah, so number 37, so that comes with it. 1/4 inch, if you do any quilting, that is a very good thing to have. So yeah, definitely, yeah, I mean, obviously we do sell 1/4 inch feet by themselves, so if you just need a 1/4 inch foot, we can definitely help you out with that as well. But yeah, but this machine definitely comes with a lot of goodies, so I would definitely recommend picking it up, and if you don't, I may jump on it myself. Okay? Okay. Thank you. And yeah, just yeah, have a bit of a look around, and just come on up at any time if you decide you want to go with it, okay? Okay, thank you. Okay. Okay, talk to you in a bit.